Hello friends, Tuesday 14th of June 2022, we begin with DXY, the dollar index. As we can see, the market has since many weeks a very strong trend up. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we are expecting the core retail sales, and FOMC economic projection, also the interest rate, which is estimated between 0.5, but currently 93% are expecting an interest rate hike in the United States at about 0.75 points. Today we had already the very important core retail sales and also the PPI, which was unchanged. For our strategy, if you are trading the DXY, currently we have a very good situation. As we can see that the volume has shifted upper, and we see that upwards the volume is increasing. On the other side, if we have a pullback, then at these areas, which is the point of control at 103.50, and if breaking then the next possibility is at 102, you have a possibility to buy again. We go to NASDAQ, very important but also very smooth movement of the NASDAQ. As we can see, our trend has already begun at about 15,261, and currently the market had a down move to, at this moment, 11,328. Everybody is waiting for the decisions of the Fed tomorrow. So the trading levels for those who are contra traders and try to make long positions, we wait first of all if we can break 11,400. So at this level, this is our first resistance, and at around 11,800 to 12,000 is our R2 or resistance 2. If breaking that, if the market breaks this level, we will come to 12,000, 12,400, and after breaking that, we go back to the old highs of 12,600 to around 12,900. At these levels, I expect personally that we will have then a move down. First of all, it depends all of what happens tomorrow, and if we have no surprise anymore, if we have an interest rate hike of over 0.75 points, meaning 1%, the market will collapse very badly. Big institutions have already since 2.5 years started to buy bonds and to sell stocks, and the bets had already started from that point. And as we can see, already at these levels, the market makers are accumulating their assets. So each time the market went back at this level, it drops down. Here we have new liquidity and broken up, and we see here the market came down, right? And each time all these levels, which are very support resistances, we can see out of the reactions that the market came already to these zones. We had a reaction, market tested again, a reaction, and market then broke it up. So the bear powers have been very, very strong. So if breaking 12,900, we will go to 13,206. If not, then this is the next sell possibility. If broken, we are going to see 14,000 levels and so on, and at least we coming back to 15,000. It will happen if firstly we have just 0.5 or maybe 0.75% interest rate hike, or the best scenario is that the Fed is saying, okay, there is no inflation, then we will have an explosion of the market from this level, so upwards. Otherwise, the current market sentiment is bearish. The same to S&P. So I'm getting back now to BCO, Brent crude oil, and we see here, yes, we have a very strong upward trend, as we have already since many weeks broken 16,000, 17,000 levels, and these are the zones we are talking about. We have already at this level 124.27 a very strong buying position. If breaking that, the market will come down to around 118, then 115, and then 110. So everything below 115 is bearish, and everything above 115 is bullish. We'll look back at natural gas. Today, German government announced they are financing the Gazprom Germania, and as we can see, it was a good news for the stock, but a bad news for the natural gas long traders. As we can see, the market has already broken their level of 8,000, so we're going back to our first target at around 5.60 if we have no significant changes in Ukraine-Russia war, and if we have no new news in this market. We go back now to the wheat market, and we see here on the same time Ukraine war, but also the seasonal level is here very significant, as almost in the beginning of May the market starts to collapse. That is cycle market. So at this moment the market is bearish, as 75% of all contracts are traded in this level, but the general level of the market is still bullish, the general trend. So here we will have a good possibility to buy wheat again, and you can use already your reversal tactics or intraday tactics. For example, the trend lines, waiting for a good breakout situation and to start buying wheat again. Let's have a look at Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. The economic in China is good running. Australian economic is very strongly dependent on China's economy. And currently we have already, after the last interest rates hike in Australia of the Bank of Australia correction, therefore we have taken also the short position possibility as the market will come down. So I expect that the market comes back again to around 110.20 or 110, and after all the market has a good possibility and a potential to climb higher prices, going also to around 170. And now one of my favorites, already predicted last year, we will come to those levels right now, 135. So you can see and watch my yen video where I had predicted and already counted all the numbers and fundamentals why the market will rise, and you see exactly all the predictions happened. And now I will add as a conclusion that the market, we will see the yen market at around a minimum 152, as we have now during the last 2 weeks much more bigger volume on the top, what is a very strong bullish sign. In case of a correction, we have the possibility to buy dollar against yen at 132.69 again. If you miss the situation, then you can wait for 131, then 130 round. And in case you missed all these possibilities, let the market drop to a good correction at around 125 to 127, where you have the possibility to buy dollar. In case the market falls below 125, we will have a midterm bearish. What I'm expecting already in the month of the end of July, August, September. So in one of these 3 months, we can expect the weakness of the US dollar as the Federal Reserve starts to react hawkish, and therefore we will see a down movement of the dollar and strength of the Japanese yen. The same for the US dollar Swiss franc, as we had during the last weeks very good potential profit potentials already. Our last buying position was at around 94 cents, and we see that after the correction we have taken also the possibility of the correction, which was massively came down to 96, and after profit taking we are in the market again at around 98 cents. So therefore the market, what we are expecting also here, very bullish signs, and we expect the market will rise further to the levels of 120 to 130. Going back to euro against US dollar, started at around 102, where we had about euro sold at around 106 very successfully, but the latest inflation signs of the United States told us a different story. Therefore we sold the euro versus US dollar at 106.78, And currently we see that the bearish volume is increasing, so we stay in the market. Maybe we can see prices at around 102 or maybe one parity again. So at that level we will decide to go long, maybe, as the European Central Bank and the ECB is talking all the time about interest rates hike. Let us see what happens. And last not least, we are talking here about the Bitcoin. The English bet brokers are already betting that Bitcoin will drop down to 0. So not so good outlook now for this market, as we see here, after a very long and brave resistance of the buyers. Finally the bears have already won, and we see here the next bearish sign. Massive volumes increased, and the bearish volume shapes already are indicating that we will see also much more lower prices. So going back to well, I must see around 40 to 80. So therefore I'm very bearish in this market, and nearly every day I'm adding my bearish positions. And we will have a look at US dollar versus Turkish lira, and we see, yes, very bullish market. Nothing to say here. After a very sharp increasing of the US dollar in the last week against the Turkish lira, we see here that we have already very buying volumes increasing in this market at around 1640, and also the volume of the last week at around 1727 around, and still the market is very bullish. In case that the market will drop down, we have already the possibilities to buy at around 6020 to 6040. If missing that, then at around 1578, or at all at around 1460. So the market will drop down, but here the buyers, very strong buyers, are waiting already to buy this market again to push it much more higher. So have a good evening and good luck for tomorrow and this week's training.